And welcome back to Picking Fights with Friends. I'm your host, Chris Terry. Thank you for joining us for our UFC Fight Night preview show, Waterson vs. Hill. This week's shows are brought to you by Supreme Clean, window washing and home cleaning. And Half Empty. Check him out online, guys. You know Thomas that does Casual Corner on the show? That's his clothing line. He does literally everything on there, and it's so badass. Let's check out a few highlights from last weekend's fight. I guess you showed up to ruin my perfect card. You guessed it, OSP. I had a perfect card going to my fantasy league. Had Menifield to knock out OSP in the second round. Had it backwards. OSP ended up getting the knockout in the second round. But in all fairness, Menifield did run into the punch with his hands down, or his right hand down. Gets countered with the left hand. Goes face down the canvas. Tries to pick himself back up, and you look in his eyes, he's completely lost. You could have asked him what planet he was on. He couldn't have answered you. Great win, OSP. I am glad you're back. For the love of God, please do not blow any more of my fantasy picks for the rest of the year. So we have Michel Pereira taking on Salim Ahmedov. Man, this fight was so lopsided. Pereira was tagging Ahmedov with these shots, and Ahmedov was sticking his tongue out and trying to laugh it off. Dude, as the fight went on, it got brutal. He was tagging him, dropping him. And he's out there having a good time too, man. He's breakdancing. He's putting his hands behind his back. He's doing Showtime kicks, flying knees. He even had time to bitch slap this dude. For real. Check it out. He tells him this is payback for the face-offs when Salim had pushed his face.
What is the five fingers say to the face? What? Slap!
If you weren't a fan of the welterweight division after George St. Pierre left and you want to get back into it, watch Michel Pereira fight. He is absolutely entertaining. This dude is so much fun to watch. He's out there having a good time, and I'm having a better time watching him compete.
Welcome to another edition of the Casual Corner with Thomas.
No! He doesn't like you. I don't like you either. What's up, friends with whomst we pick fights with? This is Thomas here. We're going to go ahead and recap what happened this last fight, and then we're going to go ahead and pick some future fights. We're just going to do one. Let's do that. Let's see who Alistair Overeem's going to fight next. Let's look at the results here. Brian Kelleher knew it. OSP came out and shocked everybody. I think everyone thought he was gonna lose for some reason. And then Overeem, man, he pulled that one out. He got outstruck by Sakai. And then he said, "Oh, you're gonna outstrike me, huh? Okay, well, I'm just gonna take you down." And then he rearranged his face with elbows and backhands. Herb Dean had to step in and stop the fight. Late stoppage? I don't know. TBD. Not my job. But he gave him a chance to fight back at least. And then Overeem did my job for me basically in the post-fight conference and called out Derek Lewis or Rosenstruck. A rematch with Rosenstruck is probably the most ideal fight for him. Rosenstruck doesn't have a fight scheduled. He's just sitting there waiting. And Overeem pretty much won that fight, as he said so himself. Right up until Rosenstruck did this to his face. The Derek Lewis fight, I'm not really all that interested in. In my opinion, Curtis Blades is going to beat Derek Lewis. He might even have an easy time doing it. Anyways, that's who I want to see Overeem fight next, is Rosenstruck. I think that'll be a great fight. It'll be super entertaining. And that's it, guys. See you later from the cantina. Good night.
And thank you very much, Thomas. Man, your segments always kill. I have so much fun watching them. And moving on to the preview of UFC Fight Night Waterson vs. Hill. Our first fight, the prelims, takes place in the women's flyweight division. We have Sabina Mazo taking on Justine Kish. Mazo has a record of 8-1. She's 23 years old, stands 5'6", and has a reach of 70 inches. Justine Kish has a record of 7-2. She's 32 years old, stands 5'4" tall, and has a reach of 64 inches. Odds makers have Mazo at -245 and Kish at +205. These are going to be my initial predictions. I haven't had much time to do as much research as I want to because of school and whatnot. Check back with me on Friday and I'll give you my official predictions, but for right now, this will be my initial. I'm going to go with Mazo by decision. And our second fight of the prelims takes place in the welterweight division. We have Brian Bam Bam Barberina taking on Anthony Ivy. Brian Barberina has a record of 14-7, is 31 years old, stands 6 foot tall, and has a reach of 72.5 inches. Anthony Ivy is 30 years old, stands 6'2", and has a reach of 74 inches. Odds makers have Barberina at -275 and Ivy at +235. My initial reaction here, I'm going to go with Barberina by knockout in the second round. Huge fan of the guy. Best of luck, dude. Brock Weaver taking on Frank Camacho. Brock Weaver has a record of 15-5. He's 28 years old, stands 6 foot tall, and has a reach of 73 inches. Frank Camacho has a record of 22-9, is 31 years old, stands 5'8", and has a reach of 73 inches as well. Odds makers have Weaver at +185 and Camacho at -225. I'm going to go with Camacho by decision or knockout in round 3. Fourth fight of the prelims also takes place in the lightweight division. We have Bobby Green taking on Alan Patrick. I'm going to say Patrick. Bobby Green has a record of 26-10-1. He's 33 years old, stands 5'8", and has a reach of 71 inches. Alan Patrick is 37 years old, stands 5'9", has a reach of 74 inches. Odds makers have Green at -245 and Patrick at +205. I'm going to go with Bobby Green by knockout round 2. Fifth fight of the prelims takes place in the lightweight division. We have Matt Frevola taking on Roosevelt Roberts. That's a cool name. Matt Frevola has a record of 8-1-1. He's 30 years old, stands 5'8", and has a reach of 71 inches. Roosevelt is 26 years old, stands 6'2", has a reach of 73 inches. Odds makers have Frevola at -115 and Roberts at -105. This is going to be one hell of a fight. I'm not sure who to pick here. My initial reaction, I'm going to go with Roosevelt Roberts by decision. And our sixth fight of the prelims takes place in the women's bantamweight division. We have Julia Avila taking on Sahara Eubanks. Avila has a record of 8-1. She's 32 years old, stands 5'6", and has a reach of 68 inches. Sahara Eubanks has a record of 6-4. She's 35 years old, stands 5'3", and has a reach of 67 inches. Odds makers have Avila at -310, and Eubanks at +255. I'm going to go with Avila via decision. And our seventh fight of the prelims takes place in the flyweight division. We have Matthew Christopher Schnell taking on Tyson Nam. Schnell has a record of 14-5, is 30 years old, stands 5'7", and has a reach of 70 inches. Tyson Nam is 36 years old, stands 5'6" tall, and has a reach of 68 inches. Odds makers have Schnell at +105 and Nam at -125. I'm going to take Nam here by either knockout in the second or decision. Our first fight of the main card takes place in the featherweight division. We have Billy Quarantillo taking on Kyle Nelson. Billy has a record of 14-2, is 31 years old, stands 5'8" tall, and has a reach of 70 inches. Kyle Nelson has a record of 13-3, is 29 years old, stands 5'9", and has a reach of 71 inches. Odds makers have Quarantillo at -255 and Nelson at +215. This one's going to be really good too. I'm going to take Quarantillo by decision. And our second fight of the main card takes place in the light heavyweight division. We have Ed Herman taking on Mike Rodriguez. Ed Herman has a record of 26-14-1 no contest, is 39 years old, stands 6'1", and has a reach of 77 inches. Mike Rodriguez has a record of 11-4-1 no contest, is 31 years old, stands 6'3" tall, and has a reach of 82.5 inches. Odds makers have Herman at +215 and Rodriguez at -255. I'm going to go with Mike Rodriguez knockout round 1. And our third fight of the main card takes place in the women's flyweight division. We have Roxanne Modafferi taking on Angela Lee. Roxanne has a record of 24-18. Is 37 years old, stands 5'6" tall, and has a reach of 69 inches. Andrea Lee holds a record of 11-4. Is 31 years old, stands 5'5" tall, and has a reach of 69.5 inches. Oddsmakers have Modafferi at plus 260 and Lee at minus 320. Blows my mind that Roxanne Modafferi, as good as she is always an underdog in her fights. I'm going to take Roxanne by decision here. And in the co-main event of the evening, we have Ottoman Asatar taking on Khama Worthy. Ottoman has a record of 12-0. Worthy has a record of 16-6. Is 33 years old, stands 5'9", and has a reach of 74 inches. Oddsmakers have Ottoman at plus 115 and Worthy at minus 135. This one should be a very, very good fight. It is super close. I'm going to go with Ottoman here to get an upset. I'm thinking he's going to get a knockout, third round, or decision. And our main event of the evening takes place in the women's strawweight division. We have Michelle Waterson taking on Angela Hill. Waterson has a record of 17-8. She's 34 years old, stands 5'2", and has a reach of 62 inches. Hill has a record of 12-8. She's 35 years old, stands 5'2", and has a reach of 64.5 inches. Oddsmakers have Angela Hill at minus 125 and Waterson at plus 105. This fight is really, really close. Michelle Waterson has excellent striking, but I think Angela Hill is not going to fall into that. If she's smart, she's going to use her superior wrestling, take Waterson down, and grind her out for 5 rounds for a decision win. I'm taking Angela Hill, decision. And that's our show, guys. Thank you to Supreme Clean and Half Empty. And thank you to all you guys for watching. If you like the video, please like, share, subscribe. Leave us a message in the comments. Let us know who you think is going to win this weekend. Or if you have a general question, leave it there and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Have a great week, everybody. I will talk to you guys on Friday. Bye.
Tutti!